Master Ching has traveled worldwide and held discourses with public and her disciples on a variety of spiritual topics. In a recent phone call on Sunday, November 14, 2021, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching spent precious time to share her love and wisdom, answering some questions that members had on various topics. Today, we are blessed to present the insightful phone call entitled When Honesty is Lost, Signs of the Last Hour from the Hadith, Part 1 of 16, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on November 14, 2021.
To the Queen of Hearts is the eyes of sorrow. He's here today, he's gone tomorrow.
How are you guys?
Very good,
Master. Hello.
A little bit like echoing, kind of blur the voice. But I heard you. You say you're okay, right?
Yes, Master. How is Master?
Oh, she's okay. She doesn't have enough time to think how she is or anything. Wherever pain, whatever, she fixes it, and that's it. Fix it and forget it. Just like that.
Yes.
Anytime. She's okay for being a master. It could be worse.
Yes, Master. We are lucky.
I'm very grateful that that's all there is. Could be worse. The astral body is taking a lot of karma and pain, but the physical body is still okay. It affects a little bit. Quite decently. Otherwise, the physical body still functions. By the way, are you all right in winter? No pain, no aching anywhere?
No, Master.
We're all right. Okay.
You're all okay?
Yes.
Good. I'm going to read you something from the Hadith. Some parts, okay?
Okay, Master.
Yes, thank you, Master.
Hadith is a very big book, and it has like 9 volumes. And each volume is also quite a decent volume. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure how many volumes we will be able to read. Some things are interesting and some things are less interesting. Mostly it's about the stories that are narrated about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about his life.
Yes, Master.
And about his talks or teachings or mentioning or note here and there, during his lifetime. And the disciples, some of them have noted down and make it into a book, the Hadith.
Right, Master.
They even recorded some very minute details like how he would take a bath and all that. It's a really very, very alive, very lively book. I don't think anybody would have noticed so much about other masters' life like this Hadith. Well, I guess the Buddha stories are also very, very detailed.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Excuse me. Did you hear anything?
Yes.
I just sneezed.
Bless you, Master.
Thank you. It's winter,
Yes, Master.
Winter, and sometimes I come in and out too quickly. I forgot to put on warmer clothes.
All right.
Yeah, I don't like to wear a lot of clothes. So when I'm in the room, I don't carry them. Only when I go outside. It's cold outside, so I should wear it. But sometimes it's so urgent, I forgot. Sometimes I have to run fast somewhere, So, I don't really have time to dress up and make up for you. Sorry, huh?
That's okay, Master.
It's okay, we can hear you. That's good already. Thank you.
Yeah, you should think like that. Because, in the old time, even to see the master, you have to arrange a lot, huh?
Yes, Master.
Or even have to leave your country, yeah?
Yeah.
And not seeing the master even after the master passed away to nirvana or to heavens, whatever you call it. Many people have to devote all their life in order to go to a certain place to acquire this kind of book or that kind of holy book.
Yes, Master.
Like the Torah. Some people devote all their life just to study, so they became like priests.
All right.
Yes. It's very treasured. Those are holy books. And then, like the Buddha has passed up to Nirvana, but people still devote their life. Some of the faithful had to devote all their life in order to study all the Buddhist sutras. Just like many rabbis, they devoted their life traveling a long distance in order to study the Torah with the learned religious person.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
yes.
Master.
So we are very lucky nowadays. We just push a button and then push another button to print it out. Yes. Like what your brother printed out for me and sent to me because I requested it. I don't have it with me. I probably have it somewhere in other rooms or other residences, some far away somewhere, but I keep moving too much. I don't even know where my things are anymore.
Oh,
Understand.
And there are so many books to take around, you know, right?
Yes,
Oh,
Master.
Yeah, all the Buddhist sutras, not all, but even some are very heavy already. And then
Yes.
the Jewish stories, yeah.
oh,
Yes.
And then the Torah or the Quran, the Holy Bibles.
yes, Master.
Yeah, multi-dimensional.
Right.
That is the thing. Not many masters in the past had to do this. Only I, and God knows why has chose such a frail woman to do such a heavy job. If you're a Buddhist monk, it's good enough that you study some of the Buddhist sutras, and people would think you're learned and good enough already.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
Master.
Master.
Many, they don't even get to study. Maybe many Hinayana monks don't even get to know the Suragama Sutra and other sutras.
Oh,
So if you could even study all the Buddhist sutras, that's supposed to be very good already. A good monk already. And I have to study so many different religious holy scriptures.
yes, Master.
But you want them, you like them. I mean, not you, I mean the so-called disciples in general.
Yes,
Yes,
that's right.
yes, Master.
I have to clarify
Mm.
Yeah.
because not everybody reads the Bible and understands it.
Yes,
And not
true.
many read the Surangama Sutra and have any idea about it.
Yes, Master.
Generally, they misunderstand a lot or don't know how to explain it.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
Okay, let's go to the Hadith now. Just because I promised before that when I have time, I will read some for you. So I do it now.
Thank you, Master.
Thank
you,
you.
Master.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, this is from the volume 1, book 2, number 12. As one person named Anas, he has heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, said something. So he recorded it. Because there are many disciples,
Yes.
Oh, yes, Master.
and the Prophet, peace be upon him, had been in different places, yeah, and with different groups of people, sometimes with one or two, and sometimes with a big group, and maybe they assign whatever group he's been in. Maybe one person was assigned to record.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Just like in our group, you see sometimes during my talk, one sister or one brother keeps noting things, what I'm saying, just the essence,
Yes.
Yes.
so that they can distribute it at home or maybe put it on our magazine.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
Master.
Master.
So like that. This person, his name's Anas, he said that the Prophet, peace be upon him, I think the Prophet, peace be upon him forever. Maybe sometimes I forget to say that. I hope the Muslims don't mind. I do all this and say his name, his title with all respect from the depth of my heart. And you know that.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
If there are any Muslims among you, please forgive. So the Prophet said, peace be upon him, none of you will have faith until he wishes for his brother, means the Muslim brother at that time, what he likes for himself. Meaning whatever you like, whatever you wish for yourself, you should wish for others first. Your brother.
Mm.
Brother meaning the brother in faith.
Mm.
Yes, Master.
That's how the Muslims, they stay strong, you know, they really knit with each other tightly
Yes, Master.
because they listen to the Prophet, peace be upon him. At that time, you must know it was a very difficult time for the Prophet, peace be upon him. Very difficult for him and for his disciples. He had to keep moving and then he had to run to another city in order to have safety. Yeah.
Yes.
The government at that time was really hard upon him, persecuting his disciples and wanted to kill the prophet, peace be upon him, as well. Yeah, as the history recorded. So this is just one of the prophets, peace be upon him, teaching. And they probably cannot write the whole thing, so they just write whatever is most important.
Oh, yes, Master.
Yeah, this is from Anas. Yeah, and many others also recorded many things. Each of them recorded something. Maybe they divided, like maybe only write the first, and the other one writes the middle, and the other one writes the end, or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, Master.
So each book has mostly very small phrases,
Yes, Master.
just some sentences, and some maybe maximum is about 20 sentences, something like that.
Yes.
Some are bigger, but rarely, mostly because sometimes the prophet, peace be upon him, maybe didn't talk a lot, but whatever he said is concentrated and true. Just like even the Christians, they say the opposite. Whatever you don't want, don't do it to others.
Yes, that's right.
And love others like you love yourself. It's similar. The Buddha also said that. In Jainism or Hinduism, they say similar things.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Love others just like you love yourself. Then you will have faith. What does it mean, have faith? Meaning he will be more enlightened. He will be enlightened. He will understand and have more faith in the teaching of the prophet, peace be upon him, or the master. Because if you don't have the inner experience, the inner happiness and inner bliss of enlightenment, then you cannot have faith that strongly.
Yes, true, Master.
That's why sometimes many people who come in to listen to the prophet, peace be upon him, or any master in the past, they just come in, but they don't take away anything because either their level is still too low, their belief is too thin, or they were not interested really in the master's teaching. Just come in because somebody tells them to come in, or just follow somebody else, or just come in for curiosity.
Right.
When you wish for others what you wish for yourself, that means you have enough love to consider others' feelings as much as your feelings. Or you feel the pain of others, you feel the happiness of others, you feel the nobility even of others, not necessarily just the needy part or the trouble part. But when you wish for someone else, as if you wish it for yourself, then you have really already become quite selfless.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
Master.
Master.
If whatever you don't like and you give it to others, then it's not much value, is it?
That's
Oh,
right,
no,
Master.
Therefore, the prophet, peace be upon him, said to his disciples that none of you will have faith till he wishes for his brother, at that time is a Muslim brother, what he likes for himself. That is the thing that many people don't practice, maybe don't deeply understand, because each one just is too much for him or herself, and forget that other people are suffering around him. Just like, for example, in the church, the children have been molested and nobody cares. You see that?
Yes, Master.
Yes, so many thousands of them, and that is unrecorded. Others are not recorded. You don't even know how many more.
That's
Yes,
right,
Master.
And children are killed, molested, and then murdered to cover up and bury in some unknown graveyard or under the school basement and all that.
Oh, yes, Master.
Yeah.
I remember when we had to shower. You only have to show me how to shower and clean and wash myself, how to wash my private and my, private parts of your body. You only have to show a kid once or twice at the most, but not every day. And have the supervisor come in there and basically take advantage of you.
Many times we got knocked to the floor by the nuns, and they would call us a whore. We don't even know what a whore is. I was raped there at Indian school. For me, it followed me through my life. The anger, the fear, the shame.
My first 2 boys went. And then a couple of years after, the next 2 boys went. And so on, as they got older, yeah. I told them to be strong. I had always told them to be strong, to be able to take it like the other children.
So you sent 11 kids to residential school?
Mm-hmm.
How many of them do you think were strong through that?
None of them. None of them.
Oh my God, this is truly evil. Truly evil. Beyond all evil. Beyond war even. Beyond the evil of war. When people go to war, at least they have some reason to kill.
Yes.
Okay, they defend for their country or for their government, their people, something like that.
Yes, Master.
But these are just murder and molesting children with no excuse whatsoever.
Yeah, shocking.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
it's terrible, Master.
So how can anybody even believe in such system of the church or anything at all? Nowadays, many people went out of the church. I don't blame them. It's truly evil. These people, they are not real. They must be Satan's subordinates who reincarnated just to exercise the satanic doctrine.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Exactly.
The evil kind of system. They are not priests, they are not even human. They really want to destroy the church and the doctrine of Jesus to make people not believe in the church and the teaching of Lord Jesus anymore.
Yes, Master.
Who wouldn't be shaken knowing all this and reading all these reports?
That's true.
More than 200,000 children have been victims of paedophile priests and other clergy over the last 70 years in France.
The latest study says more than 1,600 German clergy sexually abused children under their protection, and that in the last 70 years there have been at least 3,677 victims.
The grand jury report details allegations against more than 300 predator priests in 6 dioceses, covering more than 1.7 million parishioners.
There was one time that there were like 4 priests at the same time.
4 priests at the same time?
Yes, and then they would come in one by one, and it didn't stop until I became pregnant by one of them.
My wife just constantly reassured me I haven't done anything wrong.
Now, there is another story. That was just one, book 2, number 12. There's one paragraph only. And so there's not much more I want to say. Oh, actually, I wanted to tell you that concerning all this children molesting and murdering.
Yes,
Master.
My God, poor children. How can anybody be so evil? So evil, beyond evil. Oh, God. I read another story somewhere in the Jewish folklore, yeah?
Yes, Master.
That the devils, they are also worshipping God.
Oh?
Yeah, but they're still doing all the devil things.
Oh.
Yeah, but they say they are also with the church and they worship God and all that. And one person was trapped kind of by chance having met these people. And he saw that they were worshiping God and reading the Torah and all that.
Yes, Master.
So he was thinking, oh, this is a good place. And then he came in and they said, oh, you don't know what we're going to do with you yet. You see?
Wow.
Yeah. In the Jewish folklore, there are several stories like that.
Wow.
That the devils also worship God. But they kill anyone who happens to be lost and have this misfortune to meet them. They say after worshipping, they were going to deal with him. They wanted to harm him or kill him, whatever. Maybe I will stumble upon that story again, and then we will elaborate more about that.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
But when I read that, I thought, how can that be? If the devils, then they cannot be worshipping God.
Yes,
Right,
Master.
Master.
But if you see nowadays, with all this news about all the priests that are doing unimaginable, cruel, inhumane, and evil things to the children, then you know it should be true also anywhere else, any other time. Then maybe those stories are not just in the stories, they're in reality as well.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Oh, when I talk about this, I'm so angry. Oh, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. They waste so much of people's hard-earned money just to sit there, eat all the dead corpses from the animal people and drinking alcohol and wine and whatever, and then do all these kinds of evil things.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how can this kind of system still exist and nobody does anything.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
If it is like, for example, the Americans, sometimes they go to another country to have war because the government there may be molesting people or oppressing people.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the people ask the Americans to come to help.
Yes,
Master.
Yes.
And here, right in front of everybody, even in America as well, molesting children, murdering children in Canada and all over the world, and nobody does anything.
Yeah.
And even England, for example, refused to deal with all this kind of children murder and molesting. When people want to talk about it, they don't even want to acknowledge it. They don't want to deal with it. How can this be? So this world is truly, it's not a humane place.
No, Master.
No, Master.
My God. I asked heavens, how much percentage of humans is worthy of heaven places after they die? They told me only 10%.
Oh.
That's so low.
Yeah, so low. I just asked yesterday, not just now. When I'm in meditation, there are many things I find out.
Yes, Master.
When I'm busy, of course, I cannot. When I'm busy, I'm dealing with different things. But in the meditation, it's deeper.
Yeah.
Imagine. And so the rest, whom we live with now.
Oh.
Yes,
That's
Master.
why everywhere it's killing, cheating, molesting, all on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Starting off from the top, you see?
Yes, Master.
From the Pope down to the other priests and even cardinal and all that.
Yeah.
And then from the top, government,
Mm-hmm.
from the president downward, all cheating. Just to sit there, or cheating just to get power in different ways. Cheating this way or that way.
Yes.
Or cheating in election and all that.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
So this is not really a good word at all.
No, Master.
It's truly terrifying when you know all about it.
Yes, Master.
When I was younger, I read the Buddhist Sutra. The Buddha said that this world is full of demons and ghosts and terrifying beings.
Yes, Master.
I read, but I did not understand.
Ah.
I read, but I thought it's just like a story.
Yes.
You know, like when you were younger, you were told to read many stories, or you were told a story as well. In a deep forest somewhere, or some horror house, the witch will cook the children and eat them and all that.
Yes,
Oh,
Master.
yes. True.
We're almost similar anyway. We cook the pig person to eat, we cook the chicken person to eat. It's almost similar, right?
Yes.
Except they're not humans. And even they kill the children in abortion in order to worship Satan, and it's legal.
Oh, God.
Then what's the use of locking up some of the murderers?
Right, Master.
Or some people, even in self-defense, they had to kill.
Yes.
What's the use of all this so-called legal system, huh?
Yes, Master.
It's truly all evil.
Yes, Master.
And recently, there was some murder in England. One of the MPs was murdered. I'm very, very sorry about that.
Wow.
And this person just did it in the name of Islam. Supposed to be to support some of the so-called Muslim groups,
Yes, Master.
the so-called terrorist groups. They are the ones that keep bombing in Afghanistan, for example.
Yes, Master.
He killed for that.
Oh.
It doesn't matter if that MP was good or not good. That was in England.
Yes, Master.
And then in Iraq, they just attacked another big politician I think he's a prime minister, which is a very sad thing.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, sometimes they kill just for nothing.
Right.
Has nothing to do with them, not even provoking them, nothing. And in England, people are tolerant. They have all kinds of races there. They have all kinds of religions.
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
Master.
Exactly.
Nobody does anything to the Muslim. On the contrary, there were Muslims who bombed the train and who damaged this area and that area, who killed this and that person, or the public.
Yes, Master.
Yeah. Otherwise, the English people, they have many religions there. Nobody harass the Muslims or anything.
Yes, Master.
They are the ones who first caused trouble.
Mm.
And then just recently killed MP, member of parliament.
Yes, Master.
And it's not the first one either.
Yes, Master.
And then recently they attacked the Prime Minister of Iraq. And the Pope immediately condemned it.
The Pope sent a telegram to the Prime Minister of Iraq to express his closeness following an assassination attempt on the politician's life. The Pope called the attack a vile act of terrorism and assured the Prime Minister of his prayers for his family and country.
Oh, so fake and so ugly.
Yeah.
Just always siding for the powerful. You see that?
Yes, Master.
So that he can have a good relationship with the Iraqi politicians, just to consolidate his position as a Pope. You know, I can see through.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, and all this time, nothing about the children molested and murdered
Yeah.
Yes, Master.
by his own priest, holy priest.
Wow.
All of you can go to hell. All of you. You will go to hell. There's no way you can escape that. No God, no heaven would tolerate that. Heavens have never have such low lives.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
And they think they can just do anything and they just go and confess to another priest, then they will be forgiven. You must be joking or you must be retarded to believe like that. I told you already, the mother, Margariana,
Yes, Master.
yeah, his mother give meat to the monks, cheating and telling them that these are vegan. And she had to go to hell and eating hot coal instead of food.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, and even he has so big magical power, he could not help her at all. He went down there, he gave her food, and they all turned into burning coal.
Yes.
Wow, yes.
Yes, Master.
So if you don't have merit, even food turns to poison or will kill you.
Mm.
Not to talk about having bad karma, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
All these church priests and the Pope, they will all go to hell. I tell you the whole truth and nothing hidden. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
The way they do, the way they support all the badness and cover up for the church people and all that, so that they continue to have the power.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
Because if they fired all these priests, then they don't have a grip on many locations in the world. That's why.
Yes, Master.
And immediately condemn the attack on the PM. I am very sorry for that and for his family as well. You know, the victim, the Prime Minister of Iraq.
Yes, Master.
But why? The Pope just condemned that and nothing else?
Mm.
There is no clear definition about the church and the priests and what they should do.
Yes,
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 Master.
It's like a blur line that anybody can come in, don the frock, and that's it. You're holy. Can you believe that?
No.
No.
Any of you are even better than these so-called holy holes. I'm still not over it yet.
Yes,
Sure.
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Because imagine if it's me. Imagine if you are those children, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, molested, tortured, and then murdered
Ah.
in the dark and just buried in number of the, anywhere
Yeah.
Yes, Master.
Terrible.
to cover up. And nobody even know all these decades until now.
Oh,
Yes, Master.
And it's not one, not two,
Mm.
hundreds of thousands of them.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
So it's like a system,
Wow.
like an open system, legally protected, legally can do.
In 2015, George Koharchik admitted to sexually abusing several children during a grand jury investigation. He was defrocked, but never criminally charged.
Just my abuser alone, how many victims came forward to me, that was mind-blowing also. He admitted in the grand jury report his abuse. The institution covered and protected him for years, so he walks freely in my neighborhoods.
How many of you believe that right now a child is being abused at the hands of a priest? How does this happen?
It appears that there's something in the DNA of the church that encourages this.
James Faluzak says he witnessed the church's secrecy and sex abuse cover-ups firsthand, not only as a victim, but also during his 18 years in the priesthood.
As I made my way through ministry, it became very clear to me that this was a systemic issue, almost like a contagion, that this was an epidemic.
It was a crime that happened to us. Since when should the church be allowed to handle criminal cases? Why isn't it in front of the judicial system, as it should be?
And then, by the way, anyone who kills another person has to go to jail or be executed. You see that?
Yes, Master.
And it's all over on the newspaper and everything. And went to all great lengths just to kill that murderer.
Yes.
And look at all these priests and all these so-called holy priests. They're molesting, torturing, murdering children in the dark. Nobody knows even. And the children cannot do anything. They're so helpless, innocent and helpless.
Yes, Master.
Oh my God. God forgive me, but I hate all these ugly devils. That's what I would call them. You can't even call them priests. They're not. How can they be a priest?
No, Master.
No, Master.
Just to put on that robe and then cheating the whole world and killing children. Not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, all their life. They will never forget, even if they're not murdered.
Yes, Master.
They're dead already, emotionally.
That's right.
The word abuse gets thrown around. We're talking rapes. They murdered something in me. Something died. Everything I believed died.
I mean, every day of my life, I think about running my car into a pole or off of a bridge.
It is literal torture, soul murdering torture. Every day. Nobody should live like this, with this pain.
And they probably never believe in God again. They turn them into atheists.
Yes.
Or even more angry youth or angry person. They might turn into some criminal because they cannot believe anything anymore. They don't care anymore. They're just too angry, anguish. They had to do something to revenge, to flush it all out of their system.
Yes.
And they might not do it right. They will never be the same again. They will never grow up as a normal person. You got that?
Yes, Master.
They are broken. They are a broken person since childhood already. And this is the utmost evil. I condemn all of these people again, again, and again. And may they go to hell as soon as possible. I'm not sorry saying anything like that.
Yes, Master.
These are evil. They just cheat. The whole world is blind to let them continue in their job.
Yes.
I don't know what kind of immunity they have. They have none. They have no right. They are also the citizens of the world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Master.
Yeah. Like even, for example, Mr. Assange and Snowden.
That's right.
They just reported the truth. And then all the governments want, especially America, wants to extradite them to America in order to judge them.
Yes, Master.
Just that. Not that they tell lies or do anything. They tell the truth only.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and they are still in prison or exiled to another country because they cannot live in their own country. And Julian Assange, he is not even American. They wanted to extradite him to America even.
Yes, Master.
So why do the church people have any immunity? For what? There's no frontier anymore nowadays. If you do some bad thing, they even send you to Holland, The Hague, to judge you in the international criminal court there. No matter which country you come from. No matter how big or short you were.
Yes,
Master.
Vegan, the heroic contributor of peace.
Tomorrow on Between Master and Disciples.
Because I still have this illusion that humans are okay. And all the people who go to the church are okay. But the truth is the majority of them condone the murder of innocent children, babies.
Yeah.
No wonder they have Satan worshipping openly and legally in the name of freedom of religion. That's not religion.
No.
That's murderers. In The Hague, they imprison and charge and sentence many big shots also, like some ex-president or any crime against humanity, yeah.
Right, Master.
So why do these priests have any immunity? What right do they have to continue living in luxury while many children languish all their lives?
That's right, Master.
Either murdered or languish all their lives and losing faith in God and in the teaching of Jesus. Imagine if it's you, huh? So helpless like that, and you don't know whom to pray to anymore, because these are supposed to be representatives of God on earth.
Yes, Master.
What's actually happening is there's a priest that's trapping boys in a room and raping them. That's what's actually happening. I couldn't even believe it was true, what was happening to me. I couldn't even believe it was true. It had to come out in like dreams and anxiety attacks. I feel like this kind of trauma can kill you. And it's essential to shine light on it. I'm a Catholic. I was baptized, confirmed. I did the sacrament of penance. My sister was married in the church. My parents were married in the church. Like, that was my place. You know, like, that was my home. That was my ideation about transcendence and God and heaven and hell, frankly. But like that guy made it impossible, and everybody that facilitated that guy made it impossible for me to rest in that place. And I need some rest, you know, like everybody does.
These last, 12, 13 years, it's taken its toll on me. It's, you know, it's worn me out. It almost killed me last year with the drugs, because I was trying to kill the pain, and I got overboard. You know, it just about killed me.
And these kids are not moving on with their life. This priest, and every other priest that has done the same thing, has ruined families. They have broken families. They have broken these kids, either alcoholics, drug addicts, between siblings and parents. They have broken families. And that's sad, because that's not what the Catholic Church was about.
I was a complete and utter innocent, the only child of a very, very, very devout Catholic mum and dad. What happened after the abuse stopped was actually worse than when the abuse was taking place. Shame, guilt. I tried to become invisible. Never occurred to me to tell anybody. When the head teacher's been abusing you, who do you tell? Put it into a cupboard in my head, and I shut the cupboard door. I stopped going to church. You see how the church in Boston tried to sweep things under the carpet, and you read about cases in this country and other parts of the world. I lost my faith.
And they're doing all these kinds of evil deeds. And the top one protects them, supports them.
Yes.
By ignoring it completely and let them continue to be big shots. Even one of the molesters is compared to Jesus.
Oh, gosh.
The Pope compared him to Jesus.
Whoa.
Oh, child molester. In the world, if there's any pedophile like that, they put him in jail.
That's right.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, or in some cases, even execute him.
Yes.
And all these pedophiles are walking, talking, breathing, enjoying all the privileges still. I don't understand this world, do you?
No, Master.
All these people have to be in the court and church like everybody else, because a cancer is a cancer.
Yes.
It has to be treated. It has to be operated on. A cancer on the king It's the same as a cancer on a street sweeper. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Master.
What's wrong cannot be right, no matter who you are.
That's true, Master.
True.
My local priest sexually assaulted and raped me several times. I think it's hard for me to speak with an absolute certainty on why the diocese, why a bishop, why the Pope, why anybody within that institution would be so forgiving to an individual that rapes children. I can't personally comprehend how that's even a possibility, let alone offering, promotions or moving them around or whatnot. It, in my mind, is such a solid brotherhood, and it's beyond protecting the rapist. It's protecting the institution.
I was a small kid. There was no way that I could have done anything. I mean, he was 200 and some pounds. He's on top of me. I'm not going anywhere until he got off me, and that's when I crawled out of bed and laid on the floor in a fetal position. It was a crime that happened to us. Since when should the church be allowed to handle criminal cases? Why isn't it in front of the judicial system as it should be?
So this word is evil.
Yes.
To tolerate this, it's evil already, because you're same-minded. And I read in the news that the majority of Catholics say that abortion is normal. Must be allowed everywhere.
Wow.
So the majority are evil. All these evil people stay on top of it to protect all this evil below it.
Yes, Master.
And all the people below support the bigger evil on top, so that they continue to stay in this world, damage humanity, and damage the teachings of the saints, the great ones like Jesus Christ.
Yes, Master.
The same mouths, they say, can kill children, babies. And the same mouths, they say, worship God and pray to God, give us daily bread. Who can even believe this, huh?
That's right.
Before, I knew that this word is not too good, but I did not know it is so bad like this.
Yes, Master.
Only recently I did more research in the news.
Yes.
Because of many things related. And it's just the situation of the world. So I did some research. And the more I see, the more I know about it, the more I'm shivering.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Like we're living in a devil world.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
No wonder they don't understand anything what I'm saying. No wonder they have no interest in my teaching. And my teaching is the same like Jesus' teaching or Buddha's teaching. I don't teach anything contrary, but they don't care.
Yes, Master.
They're all blind, deaf, and dumb, or they are just devils. Therefore, they don't care about all that.
Yeah.
You see the way they do, the way they support, the way they talk. It's all evil.
That's right, Master.
If you say abortion is okay, then they are evil altogether. The majority of the Catholics, my God, they're worshiping Satan. They're not worshiping Jesus or worshiping God. Do you see that? Clear or not?
Yes, Master.
Yes.
It's terrifying that the big faith in the world is all evil. Is it not scary to you?
That is scary.
It is.
That's shocking.
Yeah, and that is one of the most popular religions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the Catholics.
Yes.
They have so many followers everywhere.
Yes,
Master.
right.
And the Pope is like the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than the king. They can rule over the king even. All the politicians, big shots, come and kowtow to him. You see that?
Yes, Master.
So this world is truly evil. No wonder heaven told me only 10% are worthy to go to heaven.
Wow.
Because I was thinking, why is this world like this? I never imagined.
Yes, Master.
So heaven told me only 10% are worthy of heaven. And these 10% don't include these priests ever, including the Pope. That's what heaven told me. And I was sweating.
Yes, Master.
And I was just jolted out of samadhi because the truth is so hard to swallow for me. Because I still had this illusion that humans are okay.
Yes, Master.
And all the people who go to the church are okay. But the truth is the majority of them condone the murder of innocent children, babies.
Yeah.
No wonder they have Satan worshipping openly and legally.
Yes, Master.
In the name of freedom of religion. That's not religion.
No.
That's murderers.
Yeah.
Murderers, gangsters.
That's right.
If they accuse the drug gangsters, drug cartels, they are worse.
Yes.
The drug people, they just sell drugs. These are murderers.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
And the drug people, they sell, you don't have to buy. This group, they're more powerful. They can kill the babies and anybody, just like that. Because they're powerful and nobody can do anything. None of the government even condemn them.
Yes, Master.
I don't understand it. If a normal person kills a person, he go to jail, he gets executed.
Yes.
And if the priest kills so many children, why is nothing done to him? What's the difference between this killing and that killing? Can you tell me?
No, killing is killing.
Yeah. And killing even innocent children.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
And then accuse the drug cartels and the drug boss and all that. I'm not saying drugs are good. You know my stand on drugs already.
Sure.
Yes, Master.
They're harmful to people. But you don't have to buy them, you see?
Right.
These children, they have no choice.
That's true.
Correct.
They did not want anything to do with these priests and they just molest them, abuse them, and even some cases kill them, murder them.
Yes, Master.
Just to cover up so that they don't tell.
Yes, Master.
A disturbing new grand jury report reveals decades of abuse by priests in Pennsylvania. More than 1,000 children were sexually abused by clergy. And the report finds the Catholic Church leaders actively protected and covered up for more than 300 predator priests. Joining us this morning, Sean Dougherty, who was sexually abused beginning at the age of 10 by a priest who was also a teacher and a coach at his school. What should happen to these priests? Is there such a thing as justice for you?
Sure. Justice is, there's a crime, there must be a punishment. Mm-hmm. The Catholic faith is raised on sin. We are all sinners. We all commit sin, and we are all due forgiveness. It's possible. Well, you have to first stop the sin. And to this point, the church has refused to do that. They fought this report up to the very last minute. What do you tell an institution that teaches morality but has none? What am I supposed to say to them? They're not treating it as a moral, faith-based organization. They're treating it as a business. And they understand money because when one of their priests embezzle, they prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. When you embezzle from the church as a priest, you go to jail. When you rape a child as a priest, you get transferred to a whole new flock of kids.
Oh, so this world is truly a devil place. Mostly it's no good.
Yes.
Maybe not all of these 90% are evil, but they're influenced.
Yes, yes.
They're weak, yeah?
Yes.
They don't have power like those evil people. Just like in hell, the devils are powerful. They control everything there in hell.
Yes.
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 Similar to our world here, all the big people are working for devils, are doing evil things or supporting evil deeds. You see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's just a different kind of hell.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When I think about that, I'm scared myself of what the world we live in. No wonder they kill one master after another.
Yes.
And even a good president, they won't leave alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Are they still harassing President Trump?
Yes.
And finding every little pickle thing they can.
That's true.
Even this mainstream media, oh, I feel so nauseated. I can't believe it. Before, I used to like those big media.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I thought they are good and they're for charity and all that. Oh, this is all for show. It's all for show so that they can have more followers and earn more money.
Yes.
They have no love, no compassion, nothing in their hearts. That's why they can support the bad president and harass the good president.
Yes.
Master.
Oh my God, it makes me so sick. All the wars, what's happening, all this makes me so sick. Very, very few good leaders in the world. Very few. And they don't fare too well. And everybody seems like they're supporting the bad ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evidence is that the church in Rome is still there.
Yes.
People still go there and ask for blessing. My God, what kind of blessing can you ask from this kind of people?
Sure.
If he is even a human, I don't know. maybe possessed by the zealous demons, you know, the bloodthirsty demons.
Yes,
Yes,
That's why he says such things, comparing a child pedophile priest with Jesus. How dare he do that? How dare he be so blasphemous?
Yes,
Huh?
Master.
How dare he?
Yes.
I mean, all the Christian people should be mad, but nobody does anything. Nobody says anything. Only one or two newspapers reported about it. Reported only. Not saying anything more.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
I don't know why. Oh, the devil's force in this world is so incredible. Oh, yes, but why should I be surprised? This is just next to the astral world.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
It's a world of evil. Many masters came and went. They killed them all. Most of them.
Yes. Yes, Master.
I'm lucky, even if I'm a master, I'm so lucky still, yeah?
Yes.
Every day I'm still alive. I thank God for protection.
We thank God too, Master.
But that doesn't mean that I'm at peace.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
This kind of prosecuting energy, I still feel it.
Yes.
It's not like physical.
Yes.
Physically, I'm still okay, but not psychologically, not peaceful.
Yes, Master.
Good. Okay, can I call you back?
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
I need to walk out, have a fresh air, and I come back, okay?
Okay,
Yes.
Master.
Few minutes.
Yes.
Sure, Master.
If you don't feel good, you can also do that. It's just 2 minutes, okay?
Yes,
Okay,
Master.
I come back soon.
Those priests are not worthy to even stay in prison, not to talk about staying in that holy church
Yes, Master.
and using that base to hurt others, not just any, but children, because children are helpless, defenseless.
Yes, Master.
Oh, this is low life, lowest of all the low life,
That's right, Master.
most wicked of all the wicked, of the most evils of all the evil.
Yes, Master.
They should be kicked out, and the church property should be sold, and they should trace all the children possible, compensate for their family. Not that money can buy everything, but at least they're not worthy to stay in any church at all. They should be driven out like a homeless,
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
worthless. How can this kind of people stay in our society, still safe, protected?
Yes,
Yes,
you're not
Master.
right.
It's not right, is it?
No,
No,
Master.
Master.
No.
Definitely not.
Otherwise, they're chasing criminals. Waste a lot of time and a lot of police effort.
That's
Yes.
right.
And these criminals, the worst of all criminals, are staying all over, everywhere, in front of them.
Yes.
And nobody does anything. That's no justice, is it?
No, Master.
What kind of society is this? That nobody dares to do anything to these criminals, the worst of all criminals on this planet.
A lot of the abuse took place inside the church, inside the house of God. Saying no to him would almost be saying like no to God. And when have you ever said no to God? I was sexually abused by a Catholic priest from the age of 11 to the age of 16.
When I was between the ages of 15 and 17 years old, I was sexually abused by a teacher at a private Catholic high school in Southern California. With me, it started with long conversations about my mom and how I was alone. Then he started telling me secrets, and he wanted me to share those secrets with nobody else. Then it moved into the kissing and the touching, and within a few months, it was full-blown sexual abuse. And it was so bad. By the time that the abuse ended, I was 17 and I was pregnant and I had a sexually transmitted disease. In the end, my lawsuit settled and I got more than 200 pages of documents, secret documents, spotlight documents in my case. And they included the signed confession from the man who sexually abused me. He confessed to abusing me and he confessed to abusing my friends. I got secret documents from school administrators who said, oh yeah, we knew that this was going on. We knew that Joelle was being sexually abused. And we decided to keep it quiet because it was better that way.
Okay. If you have any questions, you want to ask now or later?
Yes, I have a question.
Now? Concerning this?
Yes.
Okay, tell me.
Well, read that the Pope thanked the journalists for their reporting about the sexual abuses in the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Is this a good sign, Master?
Oh, he did that because everybody scolded him, blamed him, that he did nothing.
He said that not because he feels sorry for the children, but he said that because he's under pressure. Yeah, because now the whole world knows and everybody keeps condemning it.
So she has to say something, but such a weak announcement. Just thank the journalists.
Not even one word to protect the children for the future. Not even fighting all this evil from his own church and other churches.
And then what do the children, what do the families who suffers all these years, decades, get out of it?
Nothing.
And being under oppression and have no power, cannot do anything, cannot claim any justice. Even all the top government do nothing.
Yes, Master.
You see how powerful they are, these evils?
Yes, Master.
That's not correct. There's no justice in this world. Not at all. It's all jungle law. That the church can get away with anything they do, including pedophile and murder of the children. And many are even not known. It's just like many hundreds of children have been murdered in Canada and the US. They just recently discovered.
Yes, Master.
How many more that's hidden and swept under the carpet? Because before the Pope was trying to cover it, ignore it, or try to cover up. Did not want to do anything about it.
Yes, Master.
Okay, they will go to hell, and then they will have to answer there. They will have to suffer there for thousands of years, I'm telling you. At least thousands of years, all time.
Yes, Master.
Yes, understand.
Anybody who knows anything about hell can confirm that. And no need, there's many sutras saying such things, yeah?
Yes.
Many holy books say things like that. Even the Holy Bible says similar things.
Yes, Master.
It says something like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Yes, Master.
But in hell, it's not just a tooth and an eye. Will be many, many hundreds, 1,000, millions times more.
Right,
Yes.
Master.
Because of interest.
Yes.
Just like you owe something and you don't pay right away, the interest will mount up.
Yes, Master.
Then you have to pay more and more all the time. And in the universal law, there are much more than just that. Because it's so wicked. Do you understand me?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
If you kill somebody in self-defense, this is already very bad. You still need to pay anyway. Not to talk about molesting and oppressing and abusing the innocent and helpless, defenseless.
Yes, Master.
Just because it's so easy. This is more evil than in hell. In hell, they only punish the guilty. They don't punish the innocent.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
These people, they're worse than devils. Worse than devils in hell. Why don't they just go disappear somewhere so that the society feels a little bit more fresher, cleaner,
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
more purified? Okay, I read further this. There was a story told about a person. He wanted to have a quarrel or a fight with another person. This one is narrated by Al-Anaf bin Qais, if I read it right or not. This man say, while I was going to help this man, named Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abu Bakr met me and asked, where are you going? I reply, I am going to help that person. Help meaning I'm going to correct him.
Yes.
I'm going to fix him. I'm going to deal with that person.
Oh, yes, Master.
Yeah, probably fighting. But they just say I'm going to help him or I'm going to meet him. So this Abu Bakr maybe was a higher rank among Muslims at that time. He said, no, go back. Because I have heard Allah Apostle saying, Allah Apostle meaning the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Some people call him the Prophet Muhammad. Some people call him the Prophet. Some people call him Allah Apostle. So this Abu Bakr was probably a high priest or some more elder, senior believer, in the Muslim faith at the time. He said, go back, go home. Because I have heard Allah's Apostle saying that when two Muslims fight each other, meaning meet, yeah? They say go to meet and this person, but that means go to fight, yeah? When two Muslims fight each other with their swords, both the murderer as well as the murdered will go to the hellfire.
Oh.
Just one person with each other only, he still go to hell. Not to talk about killing, molesting children all the years like that, and even support it.
Yes, Master.
You see, the Muslim religion originally was very good. You hear what the Prophet, peace be upon him, just said?
Yes, Master.
So I said, meaning the person who was going to fight with the other one, I said, "Oh Allah's apostle, it is all right for the murderer to go to hell. But what about the murdered one?" So Allah's apostle replied, "He surely had the intention also to kill his companion."
Oh.
Because when both are fighting, then the other one will kill, but the stronger one kills the weaker one, perhaps. But the weaker one at that time also wanted to kill back.
Yes, Master.
So both go to hell. Even just intend to only. Just think about it, wanted to, but did not commit the act of killing yet. Still, both go to hell.
Yes, Master.
And people say Muslims are violent. Islam religion is murderers and terrorists and all that because they don't understand Muslims, including these so-called terrorists or the Muslim fighters.
Yes, Master.
Or Muslim suicide bomber or Muslim organized behind the suicide bomber as well.
Yes.
These are not Muslim.
No, Master.
No, Master.
Because the Prophet, peace be upon him, say very clearly here. You see that?
Yes.
Yes.
The intention is enough to drag you to hell already.
Oh.
And that's why I keep telling you, you have to be pure, not just bodily, but speech as well as your mind, your thoughts.
Yes, Master.
Body, speech, and thoughts.
Yes, Master.
Physical, verbal, and thoughts.
Yes, Master.
We say in Vietnam, thân khẩu ý. In Chinese also there's thân khẩu ý. So, you see that?
Yes, Master.
So there are not many Muslims in the world out there. If they support all this kind of murderers. And also, besides, talking about Christian people or Catholic people, you see, anyone who eats meat, who kill animal people, or partake in that killing indirectly to eat, they are not Christian.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
They are also not Muslim. They are not Buddhist. They are not Hindu. They are not Jain. They are not Sikh.
Yes, Master.
Because they don't do anything according to the teaching of the masters of Jesus. Jesus went to save the weaker lamb, carry him, and then his followers now still continue eating the lamb, children instead. You see that?
Yes, Master.
And in Islam, it says clearly that you have to treat animal people very well.
Yes, Master.
I don't remember where, but we will come to that one day. Or we do have it in our religious scroll that in Islam, the Prophet, peace be upon him, also taught people to be kind to animal people.
Yes, Master.
He never asked them to kill them, for him or anything. And now, there was a volume 1, book 2, number 30. I cannot read all of the book.
Yes, Master.
Just selective here and there.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
If you want to, you can also study it by yourself. I just select some to explain it to you as well as your brothers and sisters about the Muslims and the teaching of the Prophet. Peace be upon him.
Yes,
Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master.
In this book is, of course, all the teaching according to the Quran as well, but this is really personal from the Prophet himself. Yeah? Blessing be on him. So you see, if the Muslim believers do not act or do not live according to the teaching of the Prophet, peace be upon him, then they are no Muslims. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not sorry. I'm just telling the truth, okay?
Yes, Master.
The same with Buddhism or Christianity or Hinduism or Jainism or Sikhism.
Yes.
Within all these tenets, if people profess that they are Christian, they're Sikh, they are Hindu, they're Buddhist, and they're Jain, if they continue to eat meat, they are not already.
Yes.
Period, okay?
Yes.
Not to talk about anything else yet.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
So very rare we find any true Muslim, any true Christian, true Buddhist, true Jain, true Hindus, or true Sikh anymore.
Yes, Master.
Only when the masters, like Guru Nanak, Devji, like Buddha, the World Honored One, Jesus, Son of God, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Lord Mahavira, for example, when they were alive, and their disciples, the ones who followed them closely and were initiated by them, only they were true Muslims, true Christians, true Sikhs, true Buddhists, true Hindus, true Jains.
Yes, Master.
You see, I wasn't intending to be a master or anything before, so I was not really prepared. I come out and then I continue. I didn't think that I have to do much or study much or know too much. Because when we practice the heavenly melody and heavenly light, that's all we need.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, we go back to our origin. We go back to our true self and connect it with the true heaven, to God's power and universal force. So I never felt like I needed anything more. Whatever Buddhist story or Buddhist sutra I read before, that was before I was enlightened. Maybe I was enlightened a little, but not like officially real enlightenment.
Yes, Master.
Like at that time, I would not be able to read all this story for you. I wouldn't be able to really express my opinion and my anger at the injustice of this world.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
I did feel the pain of others as if it's mine, but not so deep like now.
Yeah.
And I did understand some of the Buddhist sutra which I recite, but not so deeply like these recent years. I mean, after enlightenment.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
If you are meditating on the melody of heaven and light, then you don't need anything more. You don't really need to study anything. The same with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He did not study anything further.
Oh, yes, Master.
He just went to the cave and then he heard the sound and so loud and all that, and he was kind of scared because maybe he wasn't quite sure what it was.
Yeah.
Many of my disciples, similar, sometimes very loud.
Yes.
It depends on who and what level you are in. So he was kind of scared. So the angel Gabriel came to him and forced him, told him, you have to read. You see, because in many sutras, many holy books have written about these experiences. Just like in the Holy Bible, I told you that Moses saw the fire in the bush. So God, like a fire in the bush,
Yes.
it's not fire, it's God, light. Yes, for example, like that. And many of Jesus' disciples heard the sound, trumpet from heaven,
Yes.
or like the sound of many water,
Yes.
meaning the waves of the ocean. Yes.
Yes.
And like the sound of thunder and all that.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
If you did not read all that, you have no holding point to compare.
That's true.
And then you would not understand more. You see?
Yes.
Thus, the angel forced him, you have to read. He did not understand to read what, but he should go and study others' existing holy books. Before the prophet, peace be upon him, there were other prophets, other masters, and they left record, just like in the Bible, it left the record, like Moses sees the light and all that stuff,
Yes.
or John hears the trumpet from heaven, or the harp, and such things that we do hear when we practice the Kuan method. And we do see light, we do hear.
Yes,
Most of the disciples. Sometimes they sleep, they don't see, of course. Too tired, come home and they're tired and drop dead until tomorrow. But many disciples do see, do hear, and do have visions. You know that.
Yes.
We have plenty. Just I don't let them always tell too many. Okay?
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, because people don't believe, people don't understand, and they might make trouble for them.
Yes.
Many masters saw what we saw and got killed, got murdered, got persecuted. Or many of other master disciples before, just like Jesus.
Yes, Master.
And then they proclaim that they hear God, they see God, and people say they're blasphemous.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they were killed. Because other people hear nothing. They say they go to the church every day. There are no such thing.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
And they don't understand anything anyway. So after that, I guess the prophet, peace be upon him, went and studied with many other learned pundits. And then he understood more of his inner vision. And then he began to be able to teach people and explain the holy book and those experiences that others who followed him had at that time.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Just like if I just meditate on the Kuan Yin method, there is no method, but if I only meditate on Kuan Yin, then I probably feel also sufficient, feel satisfied and contented. So I never think I need to read anything. For example, the Hadith. I did not read it before. I just saw some here and there, reference somewhere, but not reading the Hadith, just like I'm reading now.
Yes, Master.
I did not feel the need. I believe that the Prophet, peace be upon him, was a prophet. He was right. That's enough for me. I believe the Buddha was the Buddha. I believe Christ was Christ, etc.
Yes, understand.
Just because I happen to be acquainted with you guys, for example, then now I have to work harder. Yeah. Maybe not for you. Maybe you all believe in me already and you did not feel the need to study anymore of anything.
Yes, Master. Yes, Master.
But other people still do. Okay?
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
So we just do it for them.
Yes,
Master.
You are great enlightened already. You don't need, right? Why are you laughing?
Well, we wouldn't say we are.
You wouldn't say so?
No.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, you are enlightened somehow. Otherwise, you wouldn't stick around. Okay?
Thank you, Master.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do the work, okay, the way you do.
Thank you, Master.
I mean, not just you, but all your brothers in-house and remote, okay?
Yes,
Your
Master.
brothers and sisters also. I did not let you do more connection because I was in a hurry. I'm always in a hurry. I don't have much time nowadays.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
You can see so much going on in the world. How would I have time?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
And even if I want to scold you, you probably have to wait until next year if you did something wrong. Yeah. One of your brothers wrote to me today, say he forgot he misplaced the lecture. Instead of the 16, he put on the 17 different lecture. Even if I wanted to scold him, I didn't have time. So I just make it correct and then I send it, okay?
Yes.
I don't have time to scold you guys, so don't dream about it. No more of that. Yeah, before I had more time. So I just do general teaching nowadays.
Yes, Master.
Not too much personal. You guys take care of yourself.
Yes, Master.
If you meditate a lot every day and now and then I read your story and explain it, then you're okay.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
thank you, Master.
Thank you.
Yeah, also for other brothers and sisters of yours, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
So that you understand now.
Yes,
Not
Master.
just because you think, then you won't be accountable. If you think something bad, you'll be accountable. If you think something good, also a good outcome will visit you.
Yes, Master.
But it's better we don't think bad, we don't think good anymore. We don't need anything anymore, okay?
Yes,
We
Master.
just continue our way because we know we are on the right way.
Yes.
According to GPS, according to the map, we are on the right track. So we just keep driving or walking.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Yes,
It
Master.
depends on your means. So we don't need to look left and right looking for other roads or anything anymore or any other map anymore.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
That is it. When you practice this heavenly light and sound, that means you contact yourself already, your real self, your original face yesterday, the real original power, the universal network of holiness, of enlightenment, of contentment, of happiness.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
But there are always younger brothers and sisters, so I have to study this and that and explain to them. Otherwise, I don't feel I need anything. Do you?
No, Master.
Yeah, that's it. It's the contentment that the enlightenment brings
Yes.
to us. Any more questions about what I have just said before we go to another one?
No, Master.
No? Okay. Now we read another book 3 now. Okay?
Okay, Master.
Okay, Master.
Book 2, there's not much more. There's a lot more, but I can't read everything. Okay, huh?
Yes, Master.
Let's read some like strikingly important.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
This one is narrated by Abu Huraira. Wow, the Prophet, peace be upon him, did have many secretaries or journalists, yeah, reporters that jotted down his teaching, peace be upon him. Peace be upon you, Prophet Muhammad. I'm sorry, I sometimes forget. I cannot always remember to say peace be upon you. But you are at peace now, so even if I forget, you forgive me. And the real Muslim people would understand and forgive me. Because he's at peace now. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, Master.
We don't have to always wish him peace anymore. Because people did that at that time because he had no peace.
Oh.
Yeah, or the government and officials and soldiers or police, they were chasing after him all the time. They didn't let him have peace. So they always have to wish him that.
Yes.
Just like now, every time you see, wish Master safety, yeah?
Yes.
Wish Master health.
Yes, Master.
Because you think I need it. And I probably do. But when I'm in heaven already, do you think I need that?
No,
Do you think I need anybody to wish me luck, wish me to be happy, wish me peace anymore?
No, Master.
No, that's right. Yes. But woe to you if you see a Muslim and you don't say peace be upon him when you mention the Prophet, then they think you don't have respect for the Master. It's not like that.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
It's just I know that the Prophet, peace be upon him, is at peace. Yeah, if he's in heaven. But never mind, we can always wish. Who knows, we might be reincarnated, that's for sure.
Yes.
So peace be upon you, Holy Prophet. I just sometimes talk too fast. I forgot. Peace be upon you forever, anytime, all the time. Even if I forget or if anyone forgets. Your soul is always at peace. You are in the abode of peace. It's just the world doesn't let you have peace in the physical domain. That's all. Here, Volume 1, Book 3, number 56. This one is narrated by Abu Huraira. It's a different Abu. Oh, I guess Abu is somebody more senior. Because there was an Abu Bakr before who chastised the one who wanted to go and fight with the other Muslim brother. So he must have been more like the higher disciples.
Yes, Master.
Just like some of the monks or nuns I have chosen to help me to give the verbal instruction for initiation, yeah?
Yes.
Maybe they are higher, more senior, yeah, or more enlightened, that's all. In India, if you respect somebody, some monk, you call them Babu or Baba.
Yes, Master.
Thus, maybe Abu in Arabic at that time should maybe be some respected title.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Oh, there's another Babu coming soon. After this, so it should be like Babu, probably someone very close with the Master at that time, yeah? Maybe those like residents or monks who follow the Master and protect everything else.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Go with him to protect him, to learn more with him and to help him in some way, or taking care of him. So these are probably monks at that time, high priests, but real high priests, real enlightened high priests, not like those priests we were talking about before.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
They are garbage. They're worse than garbage. Garbage people still can recycle. These Catholic priests who harm the children like that, they're worse than garbage.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
They can never be recycled again, even through hell.
Wow.
Can you imagine who would do that to the children, huh?
No, Master.
No.
The worst.
Even the devils don't do it. The devil only punish you when you're bad,
Yeah.
when you are influenced by them to do bad things.
Yeah.
Even if you are influenced by them and you do bad things, they still punish you because that's their job and they like it. Like sadistic people, they like other people to suffer and they're happy.
Yes, Master.
So not like that you worship the devil and then you be in peace and they will let you be happy later. No, no, no. You go to hell and the hellfire will burn you. Because the devil, they can control the fire, but you cannot. There's a different power. You don't have the power to control hellfire. But they can control. Because they live there. They live from hell, from hellfire. Just like the fish people can swim in the water and live there all day, all night. But you cannot. Even if you wear the frog people clothes, the diving suit, you can't stay there forever.
That's true.
It's not your element.
Yes, Master.
So the devils, they live in the hellfire. It's their element.
Right.
So even if you worship them and even if they love you, you still be burned. You see that?
Yes, Master.
So people think they worship Satan or devils, and Satan and devil will protect them in hell. No.
Oh.
Only the devils can live there. You are human, you cannot. You're different makeup, different quality. You see?
Yes, Master.
It's like different DNA. The animal people have different DNA. Humans have different gene pool.
Yes.
But if you keep eating animal people flesh, then you will be a mixling. You will be like nothing worthy in the universe.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you can be punished in hell too, for destroying the creation that you did not create.
Yes,
Master.
Just like you go in the shop, you break something, you pay.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, because it's not your shop. You didn't make that. You didn't pay for it.
Yes, Master.
That's what it is. Is it logical?
Yes, Master, it is.
Very simple, very mathematical, very Einstein, I think.
Yes.
In this universe, whatever you break, you pay. Got that?
Yes, Master.
Even if you break your own cell, like you commit suicide, you will also have to pay in hell. Because the body is not yours to dispose with the way you want. God given, God creation. Anything you destroy, you pay. Especially the life, the breathing, walking, like humans or animal people. You have to pay. Pay dearly and repeatedly. A lot. Not just pay the price, but pay interest. A lot. Oh, you will suffer too much. Oh, I don't even want to really remember that. It's a terrible place, hell. Terrible. Oh, it's supposed to clean you, just like operation or a cleaning of the blood, changing blood. But it's very painful, very horrifying, very much suffering.
Yes, Master.
So actually we are very lucky to have a human body because it covers many things for us. It shields us from the memories of some horrible events that happened in the past life.
Right.
Yeah, so we can stay anew. Because if you remember all the horrible things that happened to you, you cannot live. You'll be too terrified. You will swoon out.
Yes, Master.
Nobody can bear it. The human body is a shield. That's why if you are in the astral hell, you feel more intense pain.
Understand.
In this body, you don't feel much. Even mentally, psychologically, you don't feel that much. But in hell, you feel 10 million times more. Because you don't have any shield.
I see.
Just like you wear the clothes to keep you from the cold. It protects you from the cold.
Yeah.
Without the clothes, you will die of freezing if it's too cold.
Yes, Master.
Same. The body is to protect you from many things that are horrible, from the attacks from the invisible force as well. Otherwise, you will feel worse. You will feel you cannot even live in this world with so many bombarding negative energy around you.
Yes, Master.
Starting from birth already.
Right.
That's why the baby cries. So painful.
Yeah.
From the protective womb of the mother and going out into all this radical-filled atmosphere or negative energy, nothing protecting him. That's why he cried. Too painful, like thousands of needles pinching him. The baby, yeah. So we're lucky we could even grow up.
Yes.
And please protect it from the radicals and that. And they say that the mother's milk gives him more protection. So all the mothers should give the babies their own milk. It's better for the baby. The story. While the prophet, peace be upon him, was saying something in the gathering, Bedouin came. You know, an Arab kind of race of people. Bedouin, you know, right?
Yes, Master.
One Bedouin came and asked the prophet, peace be upon him, the word him here, they should write in capitals. They should know that that's a prophet, peace be upon him. So when you translate it, you put this in capitals, okay?
Yes,
The hate in capitals, just like the word prophet is in capitals. The P in capitals, the H in capitals. So this Bedouin came and asked the prophet, peace be upon him, asked him, when would the hour take place Hour means the 12th hour. We are in the 11th hour now.
Yes.
The doomsday.
Yes, Master.
When will the doomsday take place? That's what he means. Allah Apostle continued his talk. So some people said that Allah's Apostle had heard the question but did not like what that Bedouin has asked. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, did not answer. That's what I think. Some of them said that Allah's Apostle had not heard it. There are two groups. One say that the Prophet, peace be upon him, did not like, that's why he didn't answer. And the other group say maybe the Prophet didn't hear it. So when the Prophet, peace be upon him, finished his speech, he said, "Where is the questioner who inquired about the hour?" When they say the hour means the last hour.
Yes, Master.
They have written the first letter in capital, meaning the doomsday, meaning the end of the world.
Yes, Master.
So the Bedouin say, "I am here, O Allah's Apostle. I am the one who asked that question." Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "When honesty is lost, then wait for the hour." Meaning our last hour, doomsday. Yeah. So the Bedouin said, "How will that be lost?" The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "When the power of authority comes in the hands of unfit persons." Yeah. You know, like the Pope or Biden. Then wait for the hour.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you see that we are really at the 11th hour.
Yes, Master.
Disaster everywhere, pandemic one after another, yeah?
Yes, Master.
No matter how long they will chase after the cure, there will be other ones coming.
Yes.
Other viruses.
Yes,
Because the virus can even evade the vaccine nowadays already. And they develop another vaccine after another vaccine.
What makes this all the more complicated is that the virus itself is still evolving. The Delta variant, which has become dominant in multiple countries, is more transmissible than earlier strains of the virus, which means that more people will come in contact with it. It became dominant months after the vaccines had been authorized and millions of doses had been distributed. That means our current shots were designed for an earlier version of the coronavirus and don't work as well against Delta.
76% of all Danish residents are double dosed. But the Danish government, which had downgraded the virus as no longer a socially critical disease, was forced into a U-turn as cases jumped to numbers not seen since last year. Governments grappling with surges that likely won't be their last.
The UK, meanwhile, reported an additional 44,917 fresh COVID-19 cases, 45 new deaths. The scientists have warned that caution is crucial at this time and advised people to delay planning Christmas as long as possible. Europe's return to becoming the epicenter of the pandemic has been blamed on the highly contagious Delta variant and colder weather.
What we're seeing is the new strain of Delta is breaking through a little bit through vaccinated cases. So you see countries like the UK who now have a lot of high level of vaccination, but they're seeing lots of cases.
The new variant is spreading rapidly in many countries. South Africa, in particular, is seeing an alarming wave of infections. More young children are being hospitalised, and authorities are concerned that people who've already had COVID-19 are being reinfected.
60% of all U.S. citizens are now fully vaccinated, but the cases, we're sorry to say, are still rising.
For the first time in 2 months, the country is again averaging more than 100,000 new cases per day. More than 1,100 Americans are dying each day from COVID, and nearly 50,000 are being treated in hospitals.
While the Delta variant makes up the vast majority of the more than 100,000 new daily COVID cases in the U.S., the Omicron variant is spreading rapidly. As many as 20 states have confirmed at least one case in the last few days.
But many leaders of the world, including President Putin, already said that the pandemic is not curable now. Yeah, we just have to live with it. And New Zealand's Prime Minister,
Yes.
she also said the same thing.
Yes.
You know, at one time they were already cured.
Yes.
Like even New Zealand was almost zero for many months, and Vietnam and other countries,
Yes.
nothing more. Australia also. And then, boom, they come back again. Stronger than ever, stronger than before.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, God just warned us, you see? So God gave us an alarm. And so if we would change, we should change. We should turn around, go to the other direction.
Yes.
Like be vegan, go green. Be benevolent, be good. Be the good stewards of the earth. Be the real children of God. But no, nobody turn around. You see that?
Yes,
I keep warning at that time in several urgent talks. But they listen, they don't listen. Even if they listen, it comes through the other ear. And many don't care. Many think I'm maybe just an old woman, talks a lot. They just took it all for granted.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Like I'm here forever. You know, always telling them the same stuff. You turn, be good. And they took it all for granted. They don't even want to listen. If they listen, they don't care. So God makes another wave again. You see that?
Yes, Master.
Stronger than before. I'm not sure what else God is going to do. Because everywhere seems very helpless now.
Yes, Master.
Most places, the waves keep coming back. And they keep locking down again. But it's useless.
Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg has announced a full nationwide lockdown starting Monday, and it will become the first European country to make COVID-19 vaccines mandatory starting February. Austria is currently in the grip of a severe fourth wave of the pandemic.
Europe has emerged as the new COVID-19 hotspot. Ahead of the Christmas holidays, countries like Austria have already entered a lockdown, while many others are looking at some form of restrictions.
Germany, in the midst of a big COVID surge, has just announced it is banning unvaccinated people from all but the most essential businesses. They'll also face contact restrictions in private settings.
Intensive care beds are fast filling up in the worst-hit regions, prompting the local authorities to order new lockdowns, including closing the Christmas markets. The Chancellor has warned that Germany's current COVID-19 restrictions, which include banning the unvaccinated from certain public places, were not enough.
Even lockdown forever, they cannot. They have to go out, they have to work, they have to do business, they have to make the society function. Locking down forever, it cannot be possible.
Right,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Yeah. And people already protest everywhere against lockdown, mandates, vaccine mandates, because the vaccine also did not help.
Yes.
Yes.
People still got sick.
Smoke bombs on the streets of The Hague. Hundreds of Dutch protesters vent their fury as the country is ordered back into a partial lockdown.
Crowds took to the streets of the capital, Vienna, to protest what they say is a vaccine mandate by the back door.
They chanted for their freedom outside a fortified chancellery, but under the new measures they will have to stay home. The protesters were there to make their hostility to the new lockdown heard.
Ballarat businesses have been forced to close after thousands of anti-vaccine protesters brought their anger to the regional city.
Some carried signs critical of vaccines, others were worried about Belgium making it compulsory for health workers to be vaccinated, something that's coming in on the 1st of January.
And I read in the news in many of the states in America alone. Mostly the news is all about Americans. Other countries don't have so much news. Oh, I did not get their news channel. It says that many states in America, the most highly vaccinated, are the more backlash, have more infection. Yeah, repeating. And higher infection than other states even, than those with lower numbers of vaccinated people. The higher vaccinated states have higher infections. And death also.
Yes, Master.
And this is on the news. I mean, official news.
COVID rates have skyrocketed in the month since California officially reopened, as you know, including breakthrough cases among vaccinated Californians.
Well, CBS 13 investigative reporter Julie Watts is here with some interesting data on breakthrough cases. Julie.
Yeah, guys, a new analysis finds several counties with above average vaccination rates also have higher COVID case rates, while case rates are actually falling in counties with below average vaccination rates. Statewide data analyzed by the Bay Area News Group found these 5 counties, Los Angeles, San Diego, Alameda, Contra Costa, and San Francisco, have both a higher percentage of people fully vaccinated than the state average and a higher average daily case rate. Compare that to these 5 counties, Modoc, Glen, Lassen, Del Norte, and San Benito, which have below average vaccination rates and decreasing case rates.
New cases, hospital admissions, and deaths are on the rise despite a high vaccination rate of nearly 80%.
La situation actuelle reste préoccupante. On a toujours dit, c'est préoccupant. Il y a beaucoup plus d'infections depuis ces derniers jours.
So many people don't believe in the vaccine anymore. That's why they don't want to. They'd rather lose the job and lose benefits. They quit in thousands in America alone, because Biden mandated the vaccine, and if they don't get the vaccine, they cannot stay in their jobs, even many important jobs.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, so people just walk out like that, rather have no money than to be mandated the vaccine, which they don't believe works. That's why. You see?
Yes, Master.
I feel secure in my decision. I don't know the long-term effects.
I opted to take the unpaid leave.
Karen Roses is a patient care technician at a New York hospital. Rob Erbst, a married father of 3 boys, spent 17 years at a New York City high school as a phys ed teacher. Raquel Martinez is a pediatric occupational therapist. They all reached the same conclusion about vaccine mandates. Why did you decide to put your livelihood on the line?
I felt like I didn't have much of a choice in the matter, that I was being forced to do something, to put something into my body.
I felt that what they were doing, what they have done, is they've basically held for ransom your health insurance, your benefits, your livelihood, your career in some cases.
But for them, concerns about the vaccine more frightening than losing their jobs.
In the NBA, according to reports, Kyrie Irving could lose more than $15 million this season if he is unable to participate in home games due to his vaccination status.
Next year's Australian Open tennis tournament could miss a big name, world number 1 Novak Djokovic. Rumor is he won't be playing in Melbourne, and he's not injured. He's not taking time off the court. He just doesn't want a vaccine. You see, the Australian Open has enforced a strict vaccine mandate. Here's what his father says, and I'm quoting, "No one has the right to enter into our intimacy. Under these blackmails and conditions, Djokovic probably won't play."
So you've not been vaccinated?
That's correct.
Dr. Tommy Redwood failed to follow the hospital's policy that all employees be vaccinated.
We're being denied that opportunity to do what we've been doing all along because we're not willing to get this vaccine.
And for him, the risk of any possible unknown side effects from the COVID shot outweighs any proven benefit, especially now that the vaccines require boosters.
So you think in your personal situation, getting the virus is less dangerous than getting the vaccine?
No, what I'm saying is I don't want to get either one. It's too soon to know what long-term implications this vaccine could have.
So man cannot go against God, no matter how clever, how much IQ. how many inventions, the law of God will always apply to you if you don't abide by it. So now, you see, so often we have so many pandemics and epidemics or whatever diseases keep coming ever since. We can't even remember anymore because we're killing too much, killing animals, people, killing humans, killing babies. How can all this bad karma be erased without payment?
Yes,
It's not possible that you break many things again and again and you don't pay. And even breaking valuable things,
Yes,
irreplaceable things.
yes,
Animal people's life, humans' life, babies' life, children molested, the murdered life cannot be replaced.
that's true.
And all the Bibles, all the sutras, all the holy books are telling the same thing and same thing. Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah,
And they continue doing that. So I won't be surprised if I lose this battle and God could destroy the whole planet. I mean, most of the people on this planet. I just don't know when only. They don't tell me. God is not very lenient. God is angry. Heaven and earth are angry. The whole universe is angry. That's the way we behave.
yes, Master. Yes, Master.
So we just do what we can only. We pray and we meditate, but I'm not sure anymore if I can win. I'm not sure. Whoever can listen and repent, I help. If they don't, then I will just let it be. Otherwise, if they continue to live, they will continue to torture and murder other innocents.
Yes, Master.
These 90% of the people. And I mean, not all of them are all that bad, but they listen to the devils instead of God.
Yes.
Instead of God's Bibles or God's holy scripture, they listen to the devils talking and do what the devils do. Killing, molesting, and harassing, and torturing, murdering.
Yes, Master.
So how can heaven accept these kinds of people?
Cannot.
There's no need to go to the church anymore or the temple or wherever. What for? They just go there and pray for their health or their richness or their business or their daughter to get married. They're not there for God. They're not there for Buddha. They're not there for heaven. Nothing. See that?
Yes, Master. Yes, Master.
The main prayer of Christianity is all about the physical. You pray, God in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and then give us daily our daily bread. Yeah, that's what they pray for, the first thing. See that?
Yes.
And then forgive our debts, meaning our sins.
Yes.
Just like we forgive others who are in debt to us,
Yes.
who owe us debts. But they don't forgive. They go out bombing people, even innocent ones, not the ones that even owe them any debt. Killing babies like that. And even Muslims killing Muslims. Christians in war with Christians.
It's a very sad state of affairs, Master.
Yeah, very bad. Our world is hopeless. I feel like it's hopeless. Sometimes I feel it's so hopeless. What am I doing here? What for? When I was younger, teenage or something, one person told me, he make a joke. It's very funny the way he said it. I cannot copy what he said. He mimicked the priest and the Buddhist monk, both against each other.
Yes, Master.
So first the Buddhist monk say, you should not kill, you must eat vegan, vegetarian, you must be a good person, you must be vegetarian. Buddha says you don't eat meat, because if you eat meat, you're not Buddha's disciple. Okay? So the lay person listen, but didn't get anything, or couldn't care less. So the Catholic priest came and said, oh, you don't listen to this monk. You come, follow me, because if you follow me, you can have butter and milk and meat. You don't follow them. They only give you tofu roux and cabbage. You follow me, you have milk and meat and butter. Yeah. Meaning you can eat animal people products.
Yes.
Yeah, and the way he talked is very, very funny. At that time I was just young, I laughed. But I didn't understand much. And now I understand. Just today, or yesterday, I can't remember yesterday or today, because the time goes fast when I'm too busy, and sometimes I think morning is evening, evening is morning.
Yes.
So it's probably one of these days, okay? One of these very near days, like yesterday or today. I was wondering why Buddhism is so benevolent and peaceful, more peaceful than other religions, but very less followers compared to Catholics or Muslims.
Yes, Master.
And then I remember, because if you follow Buddhism, most monks are eating vegan or vegetarian. And so people don't feel like following.
Right.
But the Christians, the so-called Christians or the Catholics nowadays, and the Muslims, they eat anything. They kill the lamb, children, and all that. And even the Jews also. So people feel more easy.
Yes, Master. Yes, Master.